Not much. I can't brag about getting eliminated in the sweep at home. Starting with a routine ground ball, we can't turn a double play, but it's basketball season. I'm excited about where we are as a team. Excited to see us compete against somebody else in front of our fans a week from Thursday, and it's here. It's time to tip this thing off. So,
You had that closed door scrimmage against SMU. Did you learn anything new that you didn't know before?
uh, it's always those things are somewhat maybe there's a little bit too much interest in them. In all honesty, to me, they're like practice. So I don't know if I learned anything from them that I didn't know. What I felt pleased with was the way we competed against someone who we weren't familiar with. Right, we didn't know what they were going to run, what type of defense, and we responded to the challenge well. I thought we rebounded the ball well, but again, it was more just an opportunity to do it against some more physical bodies. They've got a new staff, and so they're trying to figure themselves out. But I've got confidence that Coach Lanier is going to do a tremendous job building a strong program there. But they've got some guys who've been at this level before, transfers from Alabama, transfers from Washington State, from Louisville, and they gave us some things to work on, and I hope we did the same.
I feel like we can't talk to one of the players without them praising Keenan's zeal for the game and just exuberance. Has he managed to keep it up? It's easy, I guess, to have it in the summer, but all throughout. How does he keep it up?
Yeah, I mean, in all honesty, probably the last week or so he hasn't been as sharp. That's fairly normal this time of year. We're practice 23 today, I think. And it's a bit of a grind at this point, right? Learning a lot offensively, defensively, your teammates. But he's more than held his own. I think he's earned the respect of our locker room, which is always key for a guy who has expectations to play early, is to first gain the respect of your teammates, showing that you can truly impact the goals of the team, and he's done that because he's been able to do that because he's got great humility. He understands that it's not about him, that he's here to help us as a group achieve some things that are not easy to do, and I think in terms of where he is, I'd be shocked if he isn't a significant part of our rotation here pretty soon.
Does it show at the Division I college level when, as a young kid, you played up your whole life, or does it kind of balance out and maybe you can't tell so much?
No, it definitely shows, and I don't know if necessarily playing up, but it's the way that I would say is just playing against real competition, and challenging yourself. Not always being the best guy on the court, not always being able to dominate the other people out there, and having to do things that maybe are uncomfortable early, that really give you a chance to, when you get to this level, and now you're not just Q from Jonesboro, Arkansas, right? You're playing with a Mr. Basketball from the state of Oklahoma. You're playing with an all-conference expected player in Avery Anderson. You're playing with the Defensive Player of the Year. You're playing with other really good players. And if you don't have humility and you're not willing to get over yourself a little bit, it can be a pretty humbling experience early on.
Woody just talked about the closeness of the team and how last year things weren't as close at times, and some guys ended up being humbled by that. Have you noticed kind of a difference in that?
Yeah, and I don't want to keep dwelling on last year, but I think the truth of the matter is last year's team, it was going to be hard to fight that without having true team goals to be able to accomplish. So then where do you turn? You know, for a guy like 1K, for instance, how do I put myself in position to make money playing basketball? It doesn't really matter if we win this game against Houston in non-conference. What does it count for? For a guy like Isaac Likely, who wasn't sure whether he's going to go pro, right? For guys like Bryce Thompson, who's trying to prove that they're good enough, there were certainly some more personal agendas that reared throughout the course of last year. But I think in many ways, if any of us put us in a situation where what we do together doesn't have as much value, then naturally you kind of lean more into the things that you want to accomplish individually, and that certainly showed up in some games for us.
What do you mention that there are some cliques going on throughout the locker room last year? How did those maybe fizzle out into becoming more of a group as a team?
I mean, I don't know that. I don't know if I would be able to identify the clicks, but I think, just by looking at what happened with our team, you can probably make your own judgments on where those lied, and the guys who decided that they wanted to try this the way we knew it needed to be are still here and trying to do it the way we're trying to coach them every day.
As far as on the court, what are you hoping to get out of Bryce this season?
Bryce has always been a really good scorer. We'll need him to be a good scorer for us. He's really good at it, but we need him to have a presence in the game because one thing I do know about our conference, once we get there, he's probably going to be at the top of many scouting reports for the other team. So that doesn't mean that means sometimes he's not going to be able to score as efficiently or effectively because he's going to be the focal point of the other team's defensive schemes. All right, so how does he still make an impact on us having a chance to win? Is he still a good rebounder, defender? Does he make plays for other people when he's being taken away from a scoring standpoint? And he's more than capable of that. He's shown some flashes of being able to do that, and we'll play him on the ball some, but primarily with John Michael and Avery, we'll allow him to be his natural scoring self.
From a fan engagement perspective and a recruiting perspective, how big was this weekend? This past weekend?
Yeah, I'm not sure we've done anything quite as impactful as what we did, and I want to first thank our administration, both in the athletic department, but also at the campus level for, helping us get the event back in the building and really doing something different that we haven't really done here because it wasn't really homecoming and hoops, right? It was more homecoming and here's your hoops team and let's have a party and enjoy the start of basketball in a couple of weeks. But I thought our fans embraced it. I thought our students, the non-athlete students, were really energetic. The Greek life energy in the building was off the charts. And I'm glad we did it because I have heard whispers from some young people out there that they were very impressed with what they saw.
After Q's performance on Friday, were you worried that he was going to go on tour with Walker?
Yeah, I don't. Again, that's Q, right? It's one of those things where he's not afraid of anything. I'm not sure I've ever seen anyone, let alone some 18-year-old kid, get on stage with a performer and not sing along with him, or get a microphone from somebody else to do it, but to take the mic from the main performer and actually be the main performer. Like, I've never seen that before, and I've been to several concerts before. But he's got some courage, right? And also, it was a pretty nice crowd in there for him to feel comfortable doing that in front of a bunch of people. Just goes to show you that why he's made the impression in our locker room and with our team is he doesn't mind putting himself out there. Some people might have thought that was a little over the top or maybe a little embarrassing, but he's not afraid to take some chances and give himself up for everybody to have a good time.
Anything else? Cool. Wrap it up there.
All right. No baseball, but these two Cowboy jerseys in here, man. I don't know about that.
What?
Oh man.